Good evening. Our news summary for this Thursday, the 23rd of July. The government has announced that it plans to sell its 60% shares in the Seychelles Commercial Bank. The Minister for Finance, Economic Planning, Trade and Industry, Pierre Laporte, announced the decision during a press conference this afternoon at the bank's headquarters in English River.
The reason for this decision is a strategic one. That we feel that despite progress having been made throughout the years, the bank has reached a point where it's going to be difficult for it to grow beyond where it is now and to extend the kind of services that as an economy a bank relies on. And the big one is the correspondent banking relationship that Seychelles Commercial Bank doesn't have today. It's been hard and difficult for it to get this relationship, and for an economy that is based largely on foreign currency receipts and also foreign currency payments, being a country that imports majority of its needs, it's important that the bank has this kind of facility. So it's a strategic decision. We want to assure everybody that we don't foresee any short-term change in the bank. The bank will continue to operate as it is today, provide the services that it does. Cabinet has been very clear that it will negotiate the best possible terms for the bank and for the staff, and we have put the welfare and future of the staff as one of the priorities in the negotiations we're going to have.
The price of gas oil and gasoline will increase by 2 rupees as of midnight today. The decision follows the approval by the Cabinet of an accelerated recovery framework to transition from emergency fuel price intervention measures to sustainable commercial operations of SEPEC. The decision aims to strengthen the financial sustainability of SEPEC, safeguard the country's fuel security, and preserve the country's capacity to maintain strategic fuel stocks. SEPEC's Chief Executive Officer, Adrian Modon, stressed that the new prices are still below the real price of the actual cargo by around 9 rupees. The Bessetan Road on Pralin was closed for less than an hour this morning as part of an emergency response exercise organized by the Seychelles Petroleum Company, SEPEC. The drill simulated a fire involving one of SEPEC's fuel trucks and was designed to assess how quickly and effectively the relevant emergency services would respond to such an incident. Just 4 minutes after the emergency call was made, the sirens of the Seychelles Fire and Rescue Services Agency, SFRSA, could be heard approaching the scene. For the responding teams and members of the public, the exercise was treated as though it were a genuine emergency requiring an immediate response. According to Marcus Pierre, the manager of SEPEC's Pralin Depot, the exercise was aimed at evaluating emergency preparedness, enhancing coordination among responding agencies, safeguarding the public, and ensuring the highest standards of operational safety.
Today's aim was to test the efficacy of our stakeholders like SFRSA, the police, and all, in the event of a actual scenario on the public road. I would say I'm satisfied with the way the public responded. They remained as far as possible, and the police also called on the area to not to let the public come too close. And as for SFRSA, they did a good job. From my timing, it was under 4 minutes from the call, so it's quite good.
Directors from primary, secondary and post-secondary of state schools are participating in a retreat aimed at strengthening their leadership capacity. The retreat is in line with the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development's principal objective of reviewing the education system to ensure it responds to the needs of society. Topics being discussed include good governance, accountability, professionalism and effective team leadership to improve school performance. During the opening ceremony, the Minister for Education and Human Resource Development, David Pierre, emphasized the role of school directors as true leaders.
You are strategic leaders entrusted with shaping the school culture, improving teaching and learning, managing public resources responsibly, safeguarding the well-being of learners and staff, and building confidence among parents and the wider community. Leadership is therefore both a privilege and a profound responsibility. It demands integrity, sound judgment, and accountability. Good governance is not simply about complying with policies and procedures. It is about leading ethically, making transparent and evidence-informed decisions, and ensuring that every action contributes to better outcomes for our learners.
The President of the Republic, Dr. Patrick Emini, has congratulated Andy Burnham on his appointment as the new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. In his message, President Emini noted that Seychelles and the UK share a long-standing friendship founded on deep historical links and enduring ties. He went on to state that Seychelles greatly values the United Kingdom's steadfast support for small island developing states, particularly in the areas of climate action and the multidimensional vulnerability index, both of which are of significant importance to the country. President Emini concluded by expressing his confidence that under Prime Minister Burnham's leadership, the strong and enduring partnership between Seychelles and the United Kingdom would continue to flourish. He also said that he looked forward to working closely with Prime Minister Burnham's government to further strengthen bilateral cooperation and advance the shared interests of the two countries. Evaluation is being finalized to determine the successful bidder that will get the contract to implement the electronic invoice system announced in the 2026 budget address. The Acting Commissioner General of SRC, Fred Morel, and the Secretary of State for Finance, Economic Planning, Trade and Investment, Patrick Payette, gave an update this morning on the progress made so far on the implementation of the project. There are 6 companies that have expressed interest following the issuing of the tender for the project in March this year. The implementation of the electronic invoice system is costing approximately 54 million rupees, and once completed, all registered businesses with a turnover of 2 million rupees will be connected directly to the SRC. The system will be ready for use in 2 years' time, and it will be by phases, starting with larger businesses. The Acting Commissioner General of the SRC said that the electronic invoice system will ensure conformity to the tax regime and hence collect more VAT and business taxes that the government can use to implement national projects to benefit the whole population.
The objective to implement the invoicing system is to ensure that we improve compliance and maximize the collection of VAT and potentially also business tax. There are businesses that are compliant with the payment, but there are those also that are not adhering to the law to ensure that they make the right payment of taxes. We want to ensure that businesses that are conducting business are paying the right amount of tax that they're supposed to be paying. We have set up a project team and governance structure for the project. So there's a steering committee that's headed by the minister, and internally also we have a steering committee for the project and the project team. And we also have 5 working groups, one for legal and policy matters, one for technical for the IT system itself, one for the functional, looking at the operational side of the implementation of the project. We also have a committee, working group also for the education and sensitization of the project and the system itself, how it will function. And also what we are doing is that we are liaising with the service providers that provide the machines that to the businesses that operates in Seychelles to evaluate or assess the compatibility or readiness to connect with the system once the supplier has been selected for the implementation of the system.
And this brings us to the end of this news summary. Have a very pleasant evening.